Okay, let's go. Hey, Reed.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Thank you. You too.
We've been interacting quite a while since, like, I think a hackathon, right?
Yeah, so I joined Alephium in November, I believe,
Yeah.
and then I kind of
The bridge time, of course.
yeah, and then there was rumors of Bridge. The Bridge
Yes.
wasn't released yet,
Yes.
but yeah, I kind of started off slow, just exploring the place, and slowly began building more and more here.
So, where do you come from? Like, what's your itinerary? Who are you and your itinerary in crypto?
Yeah.
In a few words.
Yeah, so I've kind of been following crypto for a long time. I think I first kind of started playing with Bitcoin like probably like 2010-ish, like very, very long ago. I was mining on my laptop, but never really took it too seriously. I was always like into the technical side and kind of like playing with it, but back then I wasn't even a developer yet, so I was just kind of exploring and learning. Yeah, and just kind of throughout my life I became a web developer, full stack web developer, and then I kind of refound crypto after I had some more web development experience. And so about 2020 is when I really started becoming like a crypto developer. I found the Phantom network. Well, I started on Ethereum, of course, but then I found the Phantom network and I spent quite a bit of time there building. I built like a portfolio management dashboard there, and yeah, it went quite well. And then yeah, I was just some people I knew from Ion that started Ion, and they invited me over, told me to come check out Alephium. So
I actually didn't know that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Great. And like, so you came in with a splash during the hackathon with like at least, I don't know, 3 submissions or something.
Well, let's figure.
So there was Alph.pro,
Yeah.
which is the kind of the main piece, right?
Yeah, so so that was the main piece, but then I realized like my kind of vision for it had like different parts, and figured I'd try to attack the hackathon a little bit and modularize them into individual stand-up projects. But
There was also the discount bot
yeah, there's
for tipping.
so there's a Discord bot that does token prices and tipping, and the tipping is non-custodial, so you can use it. It integrates like with your Alph wallet. It's not like we're not managing a private key or anything like that. So that's pretty funny. It just uses Wallet Connect behind the scenes. And then there's the indexer, so it's like it's an easy to host, self-hostable indexer, and it just basically scans the node in the Explorer, and you can write plugins. So there's like a little plugin system, and you can write new plugins. So if a new DEX comes out, you can write a new plugin with like 50 to maybe 100 lines of code, and it'll like integrate the whole DEX.
But actually, that was not the first thing we knew you from. Like, the first thing we knew from was the Shades of DeFi
Yeah.
collection, right?
That was my very first project, first collection, and that's honestly that's what inspired me to keep building on Alephium, because it was so Shades of DeFi was it was 32 items, and they were just like color squares, and I got the color squares because I was coming from EVM at that time, or primarily EVM anyway, and so in EVM in the smart contracts, you select each function, and there's like a function selector, and it's like a hex value.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I took what I personally chosen, but I took what I thought were very common and very kind of iconic functions, like such as like the Uniswap v2 swap function, or I don't know, many, but I took the 32 most common functions. I took their hex value, and then I converted that to the color, and that's where the colors from Shades of DeFi came from.
I thought there was some kind of a weird, geeky, but poetic value to the collection, to be honest. And it came in the middle of it was really the beginning of that era also. That was not much, so.
I was just looking a few minutes ago, it was the 9th collection.
The 9th collection.
Yeah, on their
It
dashboard.
brought something different and interesting. And then, after the hackathon, there was during the hackathon, there was the snacks vending machine.
Yeah.
Like,
We
came out of a conversation, right?
Yeah, we were having the open office calls, and like I thought of it, and a few other people had similar ideas which said it, and just like joking, but like what kind of office doesn't have any snacks? So, so that was me, my friend Rabtai. Yeah, he did the contract side of it, and I did the front end side of it.
Is it empty?
No, it's not. There's still some snacks available. Yeah, there's.
I have tried to corner the market of beers.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good market to have.
So Rapta is so you're from Canada, right?
Yeah.
And Rapta is also in Canada?
No, I'm not sure where Rabta is from.
Okay.
He's from Discord.
Okay, yeah. And so you met on Discord.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We were both on the Phantom network, like working on the same time. So, yeah. So he came. I roped him over here after I got my feet on the ground a little bit.
Okay. Oh, cool. So your main. So then there was the Ducks, and then there was you were working on a game, right?
Yeah. So what the Duck was. It originally was just an NFT series that I was kind of like similar to Shades of DeFi. It was just like a thing I was building, and I thought it was fun. It was just the NFT series. And I have goals as to where I want that project to go, but I'm still learning like Alephium and Ralph and like that, so I'm kind of exploring like how to best to do things and what's possible. And so so at the time it was just a basic NFT series for the art essentially, and then on the Discord some people were talking about like turning it into a bit of a game, and I thought that sounded pretty fun. So so I started building this. It's called Quack Attack, and you can basically. So right now you can log into Quack Attack as your duck, and you can waddle around. You can see everyone else.
Is it on?
I don't know.
The mic. Let me just check. I think the battery is dead.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's on. We'll get you on this mic. Okay. Please, sorry.
It's okay.
Quack Attack.
So I started building Quack Attack, and like I'm not a game developer, but I've played with game development before. Like I'm sure most developers have kind of tried a lot of different areas, right? So I had a vague idea, so I was working on that, and currently it's like a multiplayer game where you can run around as your duck. There's a pretty basic level that I built, and
use that one. Just take it like this, and you'll give it me back when I do questions.
okay. So you can battle other ducks, and I'm currently in the process right now of remaking that with much more scalable architecture. I'm using Godot as a actual game engine instead of my funny little JavaScript ideas. So it's getting pretty interesting, I think.
So you do that, then you did an extra NFT collection called Meeting Time that actually has the SVG on-chain.
Yeah.
That is actually animated.
So that came from my Quack Attack and my What the Duck. So I'm researching dynamic on-chain NFTs, because my goal with Quack Attack is I'm building towards like this kind of now it's like a gamified sort of thing. So I'm building towards this gamified, customizable. You can like get your duck, your character, and you can customize it however you want. It's going to be like hopefully an inventory system, so you can collect items, equip them, unequip them, and that'll like all work into the game. And so Minting Time came from almost like a proof of concept for like how I want this to work and how I envision the game kind of working under the hood. So I was working on this tech, and I wanted to like try something in the real world and kind of share a little bit of my progress.
Oh, that's really cool. But still, the main piece of your work is Alph.pro, right?
Yeah, Alph.pro and Quack Attack are my two kind of main projects, but Alph.pro is a more serious, like people actually use Alph.pro, and it's like a useful utility in my opinion. And Quack Attack is just for fun. Okay. I'm building it, but it's for being silly.
So you release the token with Quack Attack, right? Like the bread token.
Yeah.
And so for now it's just there, right? Like, but did you build the utility in there yet?
Yeah. So for now it mostly just exists.
Okay.
As I add more like features into the game, so like once you start being able to trade items and trade traits on your NFT, bread's gonna be like the main like game token for the platform, and yeah.
And for Alph.pro, you've started actually making, like, people have to pay to use it, right?
So I launched a subscription service. Most things are still free, and I think you need to reevaluate like how I want to balance that. I want to provide enough free that like people still find value in the free version and it's still a useful, good tool and still accessible and still like.
How much is the paid version?
It's 5 Alph a month right now, and you can prepay for I think up to 6 months if you so choose. So I'm down the road. I'm looking at like releasing an NFT because right now it's just a like vault contract.
Yeah.
But I will at some point turn that into an NFT that you can kind of maintain or trade or.
Will you also like not license but make the vending machine like open source or maybe it is already?
It is as part of the hackathon. All my hackathon code was open source and shared.
So we could take the vending machine and distribute our own tokens.
Yeah.
And did you have to do something to make them tradable on DeadRare?
So for the vending machine itself, we had to write custom contracts for the custom minting logic. But no, all tokens are tradable on DeadRare.
Automatically.
Yeah. So the DeadRare has an application process.
Yeah.
So you have to like sign up and register, but no code changes are needed.
Okay. That's cool. So what can you tell me like for what comes in the next few weeks, month that might be interesting for the people watching this?
It's hard to say. So there's definitely Alph.pro updates there's bug fixes. I know there's a few issues I'm having. I need to re-index some of the plugins. So I want to fix that to get all the data proper for everyone. And aside from that, I'm just gonna keep working on What the Duck, I think, and try to get that to a stable, have something to release for that.
So when Quack Attack?
Oh, I don't know. It's turning into a bit of an ambitious project I've been working on. So
cool.
Yeah.
So but this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Looking forward for that. So 2 more questions. Like one is, so you've been building for almost a year now, like 8 months or something. What has changed? Like, what's your experience as a dev? Because you are in other ecosystems. So in general, what's your experience?
Definitely. So when I first got here, it felt not empty, like the community was alive, but the developers, there's not a lot of developers developing and building. So we had Ion, we had DeadRare, we had Wealth, like the lottery. But yeah, there's like not a lot of else going on. So when I released Shades of DeFi, it was the 9th collection, and it was the first collection in like a week or a few weeks, right? And then that kind of snowballed, and like now there's collections every day, and so it's like much more traffic, much more kind of the community has grown, but also like the docs have grown, the tools have gotten easier and better and more well documented, and like the developer channel on the Alephium Discord is very lively. You can ask a question, and like before you could ask a question and Cheng or Hongxiao would get back to you, but there's lots of other developers who are knowing stuff and internalizing things, so now you can even like ask a question and someone else will get back to you right away, and it feels very collaborative, like everyone's just building cool stuff, which is nice. It's one of the reasons I keep building here.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Like, did you enjoy what do you think of the meetup?
It was awesome. Yeah, got to meet a lot of
Discord usernames. Right?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of Discord usernames, put a face to the name. It's it was very cool. Lots of interesting talks. It was really, really well done.
Oh, cool.
Gave me a lot to think about.
Cool. So anything to add?
I don't think so. I think, I'm just glad to be here. Looking forward to the next one.
See you next year then.
See you next year.
Cheers. Thanks, Reed.
Bye.
Bye.